Okay, first and foremost, if you came here to check out these shoes in regards to running or something else, you've probably come to the wrong place. I'm going to be talking about these shoes with regards to playing DDR. If you're still interested, feel free to keep watching. Otherwise, you probably want to look for another video. Anyway, it's been about a month since I started wearing these shoes. These are the Nike Flex Experience 5RN or RN5. I think they're interchangeable anyway. I've been using these shoes to play DDR in for about a month or so, just to really get a feel for how much I would like these compared to my old shoes. I've been using these shoes for about 2 years, and you can see it's seeing a lot of wear and tear and getting pretty banged up, so I figured it's time to get a new pair of shoes to play DDR in. So I chose these shoes here, the Nike Flex. I already gave my first impressions about this particular shoe in another video. If you haven't seen that, feel free to check it out. So what exactly are some things that people are looking for when they're choosing a DDR shoe? I'm gonna go over 3 aspects that I'm gonna be evaluating for this shoe. The first aspect is mobility, as in, will I be able to move fast enough to stream 200 BPM 16th notes like in Antimatter or something like that? The second aspect will be feedback. If you remember, I was talking about the snap feel that I get from playing in these shoes. That's what the feedback is. The feedback is the return you get from when you stomp on a panel. This helps with timing. With feedback, you want to be able to hear your own footsteps, how even or uneven your steps are, so that you know how you need to adjust when you're trying to play for timing, like the noise that you hear when you're stomping. Also, how do your legs feel when you're stomping on a panel in these shoes? Third aspect is flexibility. This is basically if I need to bracket anything, I'll be able to step down on this shoe and be able to, bend the sole a bit if I need to hit 2 panels at once. It also kind of goes with movement, like how fluidly can I move around in these shoes? Let's get some brief facts about this shoe. This shoe is basically made out of a breathable mesh material. The heel to toe drop is about 7.2 millimeters according to Zappos, and that's kind of a significant increase in heel to toe drop versus this shoe, which is about 4 millimeters. So it's gonna feel a little bit different. With this shoe, I'm gonna feel a little bit taller, slightly. I'm gonna be leaning a little more forward. So my posture when I'm playing is going to change slightly, but even a slight change in posture can change the way you play. I've been making a few videos of myself playing in these shoes. I don't exactly have the best or most minimalistic technique for DDR at the moment, but I'm basically just going to show you how it looks when I normally play. So in the clips I'm going to show, you're going to see how these shoes can deal with certain things in DDR like crossovers, streams, bracketing, and how the feedback is when playing strictly for timing. Pretty much just to display how well these have been working for me. So let's go over the aspects that I've been talking about and what I think about these shoes with regards to them. Let me start off with this. I forgot about one important aspect, and that is grip. The grip of these shoes, or any DDR shoe, is pretty important, especially if you want to play for timing or if you want to move quickly. When you're stepping on an arrow, you're gonna get some traction. Like you're gonna definitely feel it right away, whether it's too slippery or too grippy. You want to find a good medium for that. While we're at grip, I just gotta say that the grip on these shoes is kind of average to being on the slippery side. You can get some good grip on these as long as you use some sort of like cleaning agent or some sort of spray to kind of wet the soles down just to get that grippy feel. But without it, it's a little on the slippery side. So if you like slippery, you're gonna like these, but if you need some grip, you might need to add a little something to it. The next aspect is mobility. How fast can you move in these shoes? I might attribute this more towards my technique than anything else, but I find it really difficult to move as fast as I want to in these shoes. But I believe with some practice and getting used to these shoes some more, I'll be able to do like high BPM streams and stuff. But compared to past shoes, like I come from using really minimalistic shoes, like even these shoes, these are way lighter than these shoes. Like these are about 10 ounces. While they're lightweight, they're still pretty heavy compared to something like this. So with mobility, I would find this pretty average. Like the shoe is a bit on the bulky side, and it's for being 10 ounces, it's kind of on the heavy side. But for like a normal sneaker, this is like a feather. So it will take some getting used to if you want to move as fast as you want to. Next category is feedback. As I mentioned before, this has a really good snap feel to it. I do like the feedback on this. It makes timing in these shoes really awesome. I can always hear my footsteps. It's not super loud. I like that it's not super loud. My innovates were really, really loud. Like the soles on those were a lot tougher than these. These are more like soft, rubbery soles, and the innovates were like really, kind of felt like a rock. So it made a lot of sound and it started hurting a lot. These do not give me any pain whatsoever. They fit comfortably. I can play comfortably in them. The feedback I get is really great. I can hear and feel how even my steps are. It makes timing adjustments really easy. You get a slight bounce when you're stepping on the panels, so you get some energy return. So now with flexibility, these are still kind of like on the rigid side. Like it's a little difficult to bend the sole a bit, so it kind of makes bracketing a little bit of a chore, but it's possible as long as you break them in enough. And with moving your feet around a lot during crossovers and stuff, you can kind of feel the bulkiness of the shoe compared to like other minimalistic shoes. During crossovers, I find myself having my feet collide a lot. Maybe a technique issue for me, but I don't know. It might be a normal thing that I just have to get used to. I do like how squishy this shoe is, and that it's made entirely of mesh. It makes packing it in a bag way easier. So overall, I think this is a pretty good DDR shoe. It might not be the best for something like Pump It Up or In the Groove, but for a DDR, these should work just fine. Like there are some top level players that do great in these shoes, like Funga and I'm Chris for Life. They're getting world records on really hard songs. So they're able to make it work for them. So these shoes are pretty good. I would personally recommend trying these shoes out. Like, I won't go and say these are the best shoes ever, but they are definitely worth trying, and who knows, they might work for you. This is the first time I'm trying to make this sort of video, so if you like to see content like this, give me a like, subscribe, etc. See you later.